Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the TopCup podcast, a conversational podcast amongst three buds about a variety of topics. Yes, I said 3. We have a new addition to the group here. Daniel, say hello.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I be the Dan.
And I'll be honest, Daniel, I had no intention of bringing you in on this here endeavor that John and I set out on. You just don't live with us anymore. So it was just easier to forget about you.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we can have you back. This way I can see you on a regular basis because you did kind of abandon me for a month or two, I feel. And it's just nice to see you again. John, of course, is still with us. John, hello. How you doing?
Hello, how's it going?
Are you okay?
John is
you
me.
well?
John is me, and John is good.
Yes. You know, I did start this off, but you don't need to rely on me for cues.
Well, because you said you want this to be a one long consecutive thing, so we're like, okay, you know.
And once I handed it off to you, that was that was it. That was me setting it loose.
Okay.
This is the Vodka Podcast now.
This is where we god damn it. I fucked it up, didn't I? Missed that bit. This is the TopCup podcast where we fill your cup with the sweet sorrows of the clash at Demon Head. I recently, as you guys here know, that is one of my favorite movies of all time. I recently rewatched it with Dominic, and during the watch through, I decided to look up, see what shirts were available on Amazon, and I have bought myself 4 Scalp Pilgrim shirts, and there are 3 more in my cart, and I will add them. I will ship them when I have the money to spare. What? John?
Well, nothing. I don't like saying, hey, do this out loud. So I try to quietly say, hey, get closer to the goddamn mic.
Hey, get closer to the god. You can just say it.
Yeah.
Say it, John.
Goddamn.
You can at least whisper
To
it.
the goddamn mic. This thing will
Although
pick
we
me
like
up.
to pretend we're professionals here, we're still just 3 dudes in an apartment trying to make a podcast. So it really doesn't matter if you're like, hey, Daniel, stop being a fuckhole and get closer to the fucking mic. We want to hear what you're saying.
I will get the mic closer to my fuckhole.
No, no, please don't do that.
It just sounds like he's like
It's
a
not that kind of
professional.
podcast.
It is very
Like-
phallic. Not gonna lie.
What?
Tip's the hardest part.
Well, he says like the mic closer to my fuckhole, and I was just like, just sounds like he's like a professional.
That's not what it's used for, Daniel.
But it sounds like he's a professional at blowjobs.
Just because it fits.
Doesn't mean it
sits.
Is there rice in this tea? You know, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm asking.
No, I didn't fucking make
Maybe
the
there's
tea.
leaves in there. I don't know.
There's definitely leaves that leak through the thingy,
Filter thing.
the filter thing. It didn't do its job.
Oh, you actually found the fucking remote for the TV.
Well,
I
I didn't.
looked
I have not looked
the
for
ends
it.
of the
I've
fucking
not.
earth for
I've
that.
made no effort to look for it.
I lifted
Dominic
couches
did.
for
Yeah, I
that.
think Dominic got tired and
Bought a new one?
did me a favor. No,
And found it.
no,
Swung
'cause
by
it's always
Best
like
Buy?
under the thing. I just didn't want to lift the fucking. Call somebody over, lift the couch, and see if it was there.
I
or if
lifted
it's
the
not
couch,
there, then I
squatted
do-
down, and looked for it myself. I almost hurt myself. You fucks don't know how to put another fucking Velcro thing on it, like I did with the
It
other
didn't
one.
even work the first time.
What? Because you
It
fucking
fell.
idiots didn't.
Hey,
Put it
fuck
back.
you. I put it back every time.
Okay.
Okay? Don't you blanket us all under the same blanket. What?
Anyways,
That didn't make sense. That didn't make any sense. It's okay.
hold on. All right. So, what are the topics for today?
What do we want to talk about topics-wise?
Yeah,
Hey,
at this
fuck
point,
you, man.
at this point, it just
We're
became
let's just talk. Just start talking.
Just fuck around.
Okay.
Be 3
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
in the living room.
Whatever, man.
Fucking around.
I don't want to be beholden to anything right now and then feel tense and no one's talking. Daniel, we brought you in here. I don't hear too much from you. Maybe that's because you're so far away from me.
It's a lot of criticism coming from me. Not gonna lie.
It also probably
That's
would
all that's
help
coming
if I knew what the topics were.
Whatever you want it to be, John. Here's the thing. I originally figured this would be primarily video games. No offense here, Daniel, but you don't really play video games.
I play Zelda.
You play Zelda, and that's not a video game. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I mean-
Don't hate me.
You're right. It is not a video game. It is fucking art.
Don't. Hey, look, I've never played. Have I played? I've played maybe the beginning of Phantom Hourglass on.
Oh, way different.
In high school on a trip to. Do you remember when your dad took us to Hollywood Studios? Is that what it's called?
Universal Studios.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Hollywood Studios, Universal Studios.
That was like in,
That was a sophomore year, I think.
if not sophomore,
Sophomore?
junior. But I think it was sophomore.
Oh,
think it was
that's
the
when you
summer in
guys had
between.
your itinerary, and I made fun of you.
Yeah, his dad is.
It was between sophomore and
Thorough.
junior.
Yeah, he is very.
Very.
Yeah, I think I played maybe the first hour. I wasn't really getting into it.
And just gave up.
Yeah, I gave up and I started reading a Halo book, whatever Dominic had at the time. Wasn't really getting into that either. Then I played Fire Red. That one I got into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire Red does a trick.
The only reason why I remember that is because I've been going through, I think I was going through pictures or going through posts, and Brianna reminded me when I was like going through my Facebook and I was just like looking at all kinds of past stuff. Like I just like, when was this? And Brianna was like, oh, that's when you guys went to so and so. That was like in blah 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 year. And I'm just like, how the hell do you know that more than I do? We weren't even. I don't even think I knew you at the time. How the hell do you remember that? And I don't remember it. But okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, you have bad memory though, John.
I have good memory when it wants to be, but bad memory when I want it to be.
I feel like your memory is just pretty shit in general. No offense.
Like I said,
But
when
full
I
offense,
want it to be
because
good.
We'll be mid conversation and you'll say the exact wrong thing and have to correct you often. I don't want to be a dick, but I just want to make sure I'm clear as to what the fuck you're saying. So I have to correct you every time.
That's what I'm saying. When I want to be, like, when I want my memory, like, to be correct, it's not. But when I don't care, I just remember in stupid detail some of the most trivial shit. And I'm
Gotcha.
just
So
like,
that's why you're so apathetic. That's so you can keep remembering shit. That's why you
yep,
have that.
that's exactly
laissez-faire
right.
attitude. Daniel, how's your memory? I want to bring you back in here. You're silent over there.
My memory?
Yes.
Well, I don't expect the folks at home to know, but you and I have several disagreements on who remembers what correctly. And it's always, fuck you, you're wrong because you don't remember shit. I'm right because I remember shit. And then I'm just like, you know what? Sometimes I agree, but sometimes I can quote Jay and Silent Bob word for word, and you can't.
Well, I don't like argue with you about memory because your memory is very specific. You'll remember any line from any movie you've ever seen, or any lyric from any song you've ever heard, or anything someone said. But if it comes to like facts, you don't remember. Actual things you lived through, you probably don't remember. I mean, well, I don't want to say don't remember, but I feel more comfortable that maybe my memory is better than you. But sorry, John, I have no capacity to remember anything I've seen. This is why I have to see Scott Pilgrim so many times. I've seen it maybe 20-something times, and I know maybe a handful of scenes, maybe a handful of words in those scenes, but I can't fucking repeat it back to you verbatim like Daniel can.
Yeah, no.
Good shit, Daniel, but fuck you.
Shit, I really should have started cooking.
Cooking?
Yeah.
Why? Do you not cook
So I can
now?
fucking eat?
Oh, I thought you meant like in general, not right now. Yeah.
Should have started cooking instead of wasting my time countless hours watching movies and memorizing them by accident.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're still alive.
If only chose to go to culinary school or, even work in the food industry.
Let's talk about that, Daniel.
Food industry?
No, not food industry. I have enough of that. But what happened with culinary school? I don't think I don't remember why you stopped.
I initially stopped because
For those who don't know, sorry, which is everyone. I don't know if this is gonna be in it or not, but Daniel, when we originally moved up here about almost 5 years now, going on 4.5 years ago to San Francisco. Daniel was going to Cordon Bleu, which is now non-existent here in the city.
Yeah, I think it's in the country, really. Yeah, so I chose / was forced by Dominic at a Rossi Pizza House to enroll into Le Cordon Bleu because it was the one school I was looking at here in San Francisco, and we were trying to make a way so that we can all come and just live together because San Francisco is expensive as fuck. And it would have been easier, and which it was at times. Yeah, so went to Le Cordon Bleu for like 3 months, had a blast, except when my fellow students were being dicks just because they were petty for petty reasons. Stopped going to culinary school because I was finding myself very sick at the time. A lot.
Yeah, I remember you were. It's like I can't remember a time you weren't sick then.
Yeah, I was a
You were
goddamn
always
mess.
in the mornings. Mornings were terrible for you. You'd wake up and immediately throw up.
Yeah.
Always something wrong with your stomach.
Well, at least
you
makes
do have
it
something
better.
wrong with your stomach. What was it again?
I think I have gastritis.
You have
Yeah.
gastritis. Yeah.
Gastritis. I have weak stomach lining. So I'm not supposed to drink alcohol, eat spicy foods, stuff like that. But you know what the fuck the doctors know.
Is that why then?
Yeah.
You were just sick. You just couldn't. It was just difficult.
Yeah, no, it's I got tired of being sick. Some of it was the gastritis. A lot of it was stress. Like stress making it to school on time because I can only be late a handful of times, and then I can only be absent like 3 times during the course. The semester. Yeah, and eventually I just decided, like, I got kind of scared because I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Like, this is before I was able to go to the doctor because I didn't have a doctor up here. I had to go back home to go to the doctor, and that meant I had to schedule going back home to go to the doctor. And at the time, I was still trying to find a job, and it just wasn't happening. Then Dominic got me the interview at Boudin. And then I figured work and school aren't lining up. And I need to pay for San Francisco living to go to San Francisco living. So that happened, and then I got really scared, and I thought I was breaching on diabetes because it runs on my dad's side of the family. So I got a little scared. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. My mom and dad both gave me some pointers, and it seemed like it helped. So I thought, wow, okay, so this might be something serious.
Mm.
So I took a leave of absence from Cordon Bleu, and then, like, I went, got checked up. Turned out my body just hates me, and
Yeah, I can relate.
it's just kind of eating itself
My body
with
doesn't
the
hate me, I just
gastritis.
hate you too.
And yeah, not diabetic as of yet. So, yeah, then I decided it's not for me. I don't want to go back. I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy my time, or still love cooking. But it just, it showed me that what type of cooking environment I don't want to be in. And then as the years progressed and we worked more and more jobs, and especially at Built, I learned what type of kitchen environment I do want to be in, which is a smaller environment, more intimate with your crew that you know, that you're basically building like a family at work, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I left culinary school.
Yeah. Yeah, Built was
something special.
was something special. That was the one job where we all got to work at the same time, right? Because we all worked at I don't know if it was
Yeah,
the same
just
where we worked.
separate times.
But yeah, we all worked there at separate times. However, how often did we only got scheduled together in the back of house a few times early on. I think
Yeah, in the
Johnny
beginning.
eventually would split us up.
Yeah,
It was-
eventually he learned.
It was
Oh,
either
they're,
me and
they're
John or
like
me and
actual
Daniel.
friends.
Yeah.
And they're talking a lot.
We
So-
got shit done though.
We did.
We got shit done.
Because we know how, and we had fun. You
Yeah,
know,
we
some
did.
of the best times in that kitchen was working with you because all we did was fucking sing, and we just got shit done. John, we just got shit done, and it was quick. Like, that's what I appreciated about John. Never really worked with Dominic in the back of the house. I was already a supervisor, but yeah, it was like got a ride home.
Hello, John.
Yo, hello. Hi.
Didn't feel like jumping in there at any point.
Not really, no.
You gave me a thumbs up. You just wasn't audible.
I mean, you were talking about yourself, so I didn't care.
Naturally.
So then you started
most
talking
people.
about Built, and like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, well, I want to bring it back now to pretty much the beginning. Originally, I figured this would be primarily a gaming podcast. Daniel, you don't game that much. I don't know how. Well, I mean, even if you don't, John and I do, and they're still. You can still have an opinion.
Mhm.
We'll just we'll bring it up. Like, it is actually kind of fortuitous, or is it serendipitous? Which word? Both. It is both. It's fortuitous and serendipitous that you join us here. After the news that Halo Reach is fucking finally coming to Master Chief Collection.
Risky
Yeah.
runs
Yeah,
to the max.
because we spent a lot of time playing through Reach, sophomore year, junior year.
Yeah, it was
the
after we
summer.
met. So between sophomore and junior year,
Yeah,
when I started hanging out with you at your house during the summer.
yeah. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to go back into it and go into Forge World, fuck with that again. See what game types we can slay through.
I really
wanna do Hot
want to.
Pursuit.
I really want to experience the games on PC, but unfortunately, Master Chief Collection is not going to be part of the Xbox Play Anywhere. So I'm gonna actually have to buy it on PC if I want to play the games, and I already own them for the Xbox One X. So now I'm like, I don't really want to buy them again. I don't like having to buy games again. I just like buying them once and being able to play them wherever, because that's just nice. Like,
Yeah.
like,
But there was work done. This was not like they originally promised you that they would have this on the PC in the first place.
Mhm.
So I think
Yeah.
it's not unfair for them to ask.
yeah, no, I understand, but like all the other Xbox main first party titles are Play Anywhere. So what the hell, man?
Because it's
Yeah, I don't know.
Halo.
It is kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess that's
I figure once they bring
all.
Xbox Game Pass over to the PC, which
Yeah.
it's not, they haven't yet, right?
Not yet.
I don't know
Nope.
if they've announced plans, but I figure that's the plan with their streaming future and wanting to be
Oh yeah,
on
no.
all platforms.
This last month really has been like that one Xbox Insider a few weeks ago. They just were just like, hey, this thing's coming, and this thing's coming, and this thing's coming, and this thing's coming, and we're just like, okay, cool, because originally right before it just seemed like Xbox was Xbox, you know, and they were like, we're kind of gonna touch on the PC community a bit. And after that Xbox Insider, they're just like, we're Xbox, we're just going to be in everyone.
Well, they haven't they're gonna be in everyone.
Uh-huh.
Well, they haven't
like God.
confirmed that they're really what we figure they're gonna be doing with like bringing Xbox Live to Android and iOS and Switch, which is just their online infrastructure. I don't think they're bringing any games over so far.
No, not games, but just like the Xbox Live thing is, I guess it's just a stepping stone.
Yeah,
and so,
and they recently announced some xCloud stuff. I know GDC is happening this week.
it's going on today.
Yeah, and so Google tomorrow will be having their press conference or whatever.
Nvidia and Kingdom Hearts,
and
Square
they'll
Enix are doing
be
stuff today.
probably showing their streaming
Oh God.
stuff, which
saw
is
that
going to be
controller.
interesting. So I haven't seen the controller myself, but people have been poo-pooing it.
Yeah.
So I really want to see it. But even then, it was just like a fan rendering of a patent. So who knows,
Xbox
whatever.
will always be my favorite controllers.
I love
they
the
just-
controllers right
yeah,
now. The
man.
bumpers kind of suck, but I love the feel overall of the Xbox One controller. It's sick. I really want to hold and use Xbox Elite.
Yeah,
I imagine that's the
I want to
best
experience
controller.
one because, like, I mean, I can go to the Microsoft store, pick one up, and jiggle it around, and I'm like, but like, I don't know how it actually plays, and I don't know how like I can choose like the sensitivities, the actuation, like changing that in the controller. So it's just like, I wonder how nice it'd be. I wonder how much better it could actually be.
Yeah. The
Mm.
Xbox is definitely a step up. Like once I think I went to a Toys R Us. I got Sati in the Secret Santa. And,
it was a while ago then.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was before we moved here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went to Toys R Us and we were walking around and they had the game testing stations up, and it was right when the PS4 and the Xbox One X came out. The Xbox One came out, and I was like, "Fuck, I haven't tried these out yet." And I went, grabbed the PS4 controller first, and I was like, "God damn, this feels gross. This feels like a piece of plastic with like an ounce of maybe metal in it, questionably. The triggers, I don't know, the drop off for the two triggers just did not do it for me. And it just felt like I could snap it in half if I got really angry at amplitude. But then I grabbed the Xbox One controller. I was like, fuck yeah. Like, yeah. Fuck me up, dude.
It's still surprising. Don't get me wrong. The 360 controller was good.
Yeah.
It still surprises me that a lot of people choose the 360 controller over the Xbox One X or the One controller.
The bumpers have something to do with that.
Maybe
the bumpers kind of do suck. I think they're better on this like updated version of the controller than they were on the original.
Oh yeah, leagues better.
Xbox One
I cannot play with Brianna's bumpers.
Yeah, they don't click.
They don't click. They're very stiff comparatively. Yeah. Like the amount of force you have to put in to actually get it to click is way less than on ours. And I've noticed that on the originals, it's more you have to be like towards the center of the controllers, like more of the spine where the ridge is. If you really want to click in, if you're like on the very edges of the controller itself, and you try it, it won't register. Whereas on ours, you put a little bit of force almost anywhere, and it registers completely. And I'm like, this is really nice.
So are you then keeping up with this streaming stuff, Daniel, between
I know
Google and Microsoft and all that?
I know you were looking into Google for sure, right?
Yeah, because right now you only have a Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't purchased yourself an Xbox
at the current moment. Yes.
Yeah. So what does it seem appealing to you? This idea of being able to just pay for a service and stream it to your phone or laptop?
Well, it really depends, honestly, because I mean, with my laptop, I can just get either do my Steam games and yes.
Sorry, I was messing with the base of the mic here, so picking it up. Sorry.
See, the thing with the streaming to my laptop, my phone, blah 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 blah, is I kind of dropped off from wanting to play games on my phone. It I don't know, like.
Now, is it the form factor, or is it the fact that you just don't really like mobile games in general? Like if you were able to stream Assassin's Creed onto your phone, or I think Project xCloud, which is Microsoft's, I think they showed off Forza Horizon 4 running on it.
Yeah,
stunning game, by the way.
Honestly, it will depend on the game. Like if it was something like Horizon, like yeah, especially if I have like motion controls, which I mean a little easier and more understandable for a phone. But streaming to playing games in general on a phone, I have never had a good experience with. Never. And I don't know if it's the phones I'm choosing or what, but it's always either clunky or really slow. Takes up too much processing power on my phone, so it really fucks me up, takes me out of the experience. And like I think the only thing that was different for me was an emulator when I had Emerald.
Yeah. I remember that.
That was the only thing that was different for me because it was very simple. It was a Game Boy Advance game, or SP. Yeah.
Don't ask me, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, these are streaming titles, so they're not going to be using as many resources on your phone.
Yeah.
And like for the most part, especially with xCloud, granted it's all like prototypes and stuff like that, but the idea would be you're connecting your phone to what is essentially a compatible Xbox One controller. So you have all the core functionality like at your fingertips. You don't have to like try to figure it out on your phone. Your phone is very much just a screen. It's just a display, and it streams it to it, and all your functionality is all input through the controller itself.
Yeah, and the way things played on the phone and how much energy it takes up, and all that stuff that I just said, that's like part one of it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Most part two is usually just the touch controls. It drives me insane, like trying to work around things and things like that. If I were to have a Xbox controller able to connect to my phone and I can just do all that and play it off my phone. Yeah, in a pinch, sure, why not just take a fucking controller with me to work?
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about anything else. But yeah, other than that,
I think it really will just be the battery thing, because like I can't. Coming from what I know so far is they enabled keyboard and mouse.
mm-hmm.
The developers themselves have to go in to their games and enable that functionality if you want to play keyboard and mouse on any game. Because technically, as far as the Xbox is concerned, you can use keyboard and mouse on any game. So based off that idea itself makes me really not too confident that a lot of because it doesn't make me too confident that the developers are going to go like, okay, we might bring in keyboard and mouse functionality to this game, but instead, let's try to figure out how to rework all the controls so that they work with touchscreen mobile devices. So that's why I doubt that'll actually be a thing where you can actually play like Assassin's Creed on your phone with touchscreen controls. I feel very confident that they would probably make some kind of like compatible, maybe something you just stick on your phone, or maybe like the NVIDIA shields where you click on something and you have
basically a gamepad.
Yeah, something like that. Because it just sounds like it's a lot of work on the developers themselves to enable that touch.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Controls.
I mean, they're going outside of what they initially set up, so and it's pretty far outside, from what I can tell. But really, like I was gonna say before, my laptop. Streaming to my laptop, I can give two shits because I do have Steam, and I get my a lot of my PC games off of Twitch. So I just install them on my computer. Like I have Tacoma, and
But can your computer run them?
Yeah, runs them just fine.
Okay,
Perfectly
But,
fine,
like,
even
what
without the graphics card.
What about like if you wanted a newer game though?
Yeah, if I wanted a newer game, then it's fine. Like I'm the type of person that likes to have my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like every so often, yeah, digital's okay, but I like to have the tactile shit that I can touch.
Yeah.
That's why I still collect comics every so often. I understand the move to digital is very convenient. I would not have gotten through Ultimate Spider-Man, fucking buying all that shit. No.
See, and based off that, that's why just for pretty preference, I think I'm the only one that's ever done anything with streaming games, correct?
Yeah, because you have your the NVIDIA one.
Yeah, I have the NVIDIA GeForce, the G now, whatever it is. Yeah, I can say though that thing is really convenient. But that, like you were saying, like you like owning your stuff. Then the nice thing is, with NVIDIA is you sign in using whatever it is. So say I bought these games off Steam. I sign in on Steam, or like I open up a game and it'll tell me basically, are you opening up this game using Steam, using Origin Launcher, using Epic Launcher, or are you using it using Uplay Launcher? So Ubisoft, EA, and with the other one, Epic Games, yeah. I'm sure there are other ones, but Blizzard as well. But for the most part, those are it's basically will just be like, how are you launching this game? And then from there, you sign in, saying like with your credentials for each platform, and then it basically pulls from the cloud because it shares with everything. It pulls from there, and you just start playing because and that would, I don't know. I think the thing I liked is, yes, playing on the laptop is nice and convenient and quick if you need to, if you don't want to take a whole setup. But I find it really sometimes better than other things, because again, I could not run Watch Dogs 2 on my computer. It was just too intense of a game on RAM more than anything. I could have technically easily played that game, but my RAM on my computer just wasn't compatible. It just wasn't handling it. But I fired it up on GeForce, and it was the furthest I ever got in that game. Well, actually, that's not true. I started playing on the PS4 once Joel got it. But that's not the point. The point is, it was nice to be able to still keep my computer running. And when I couldn't play the game, I opened it up on something that's free. I don't have to pay for it. But that I think is mainly because it was in beta. I don't know for sure. But it was nice being able to fire it up and then bam, it's on my computer. Every once in a while, if my internet dipped, sure, the frame rate might go down a little. Maybe it dropped from 1080p to 720p, but it was still nice to be able to actually enjoy and play the game. And then, like I said, if I ever went home, I would just take my laptop. And then as long as I had a good connection, take my laptop, get my Xbox controller, plug it into my laptop, and then bam, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was something that I found really convenient with my laptop. Like, when I first got it, I got Twitch, and it's like, hey, you have Twitch Prime, and you can get these games. It's like, all right, fuck yeah, let's download some shit. So I did that, and I was like, I can use the Xbox controller right now. So I just plugged in the Xbox controller, and it was super convenient. And that is my extent of playing games on my computer, because really, I still had those games. Like, before, I had to swap out my computer for a new one because the screen was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I had those games. I still had Tacoma. I still had fuck, what was it? It was a like a top view indie game. Forgot what it was. Finding my way through a tower, and I'm just like, I could teleport and shit. I forgot what it's called. But Mr. Shifty, yes.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
It's like one of the 2 games he's played. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Mr. Shifty. I fucking love that game. I played that game for hours when I first downloaded it, and every so often when I just wanted to play it. But I have my laptop with me at school, sometimes at work. I'm not playing Mr. Shifty. I'm not playing Tacoma because mainly I don't have an Xbox controller, and I'm not gonna take a fucking Xbox controller wherever the fuck I go either. So.
See, that's what I guess one of the things that it makes it interesting is because you don't want to take an Xbox controller, but you'll take a DS.
That's only a part of the problem. Part of the problem.
But you'll take a DS.
I mean, yeah.
So are you not supportive of this streaming future, Daniel? Is that what I'm hearing? Pretty much.
Well, it's what you're hearing is like, I don't really care. I'm part of that neutral party that just doesn't care, or it's more towards that.
You're either with us or you're against us, Daniel. That's how this.
I guess
works.
I'm fucking
you should
against
know this.
you. Then.
Fuck you! Get the fuck out of this house. Get the fuck off this podcast. We are a streaming supporting podcast and household. I'll have you know.
No, I support it. It's just not for me. I'm not going to use it regularly. You know, I'm like, right. Go for it. Fucking break those barriers, Xbox. You do you. Fucking A. But, Google, I guess, too. But,
really anyone.
I think it's exciting because it just, by making gaming, AAA level gaming accessible on everywhere, we get more games in more people's hands. People are more likely to subscribe to a service than they are to spend the price of a console. The more people that are playing, the more games we're likely to get. You know.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it's good for everybody.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
Definitely.
When we all play, to take it for Microsoft, when we all play, we all win. Or I think that's their
something like that.
Their slogan or something.
I will say though, going on back to the mobile streaming, it will be interesting playing games that are more HUD or like I guess graphically intensive.
Well, for me, like the only things I would really play like on the phone, streaming to the phone, would be like the kind of games that I only want to get on my Switch now if they're multi-platform.
It's like Celeste,
like platformers, 2D stuff like that. A lot of like indies.
Yeah. I could say like Forza because not a lot of stuff is going on
yeah,
Forza.
But I don't know. I like having the Forza. I like playing this on my TV.
Right.
I like trying to get as much because I play in the cockpit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so I like having as much to see as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely don't think I could play Forza on my phone.
Right. For me, if they can unlock like everything, like so the games are streaming at 4K, HDR, and all that kind of stuff, and it's compatible with phones, I think for some games I might actually just play some cutscenes or visit certain areas in the game on my phone just because my phone is currently like the best quality screen I have. Like these phones are actually 4K, or not actually 4K, but they're still high res. They're 1440 or whatever the fuck. But they're like actually HDR or stuff like that, and not because like and it's just something I have, and I don't have to pay a whole lot of money for it. Whereas if I want a TV that's actually HDR, that's actually 4K, and looks good, I'm gonna have to cough up a good amount of money. Same thing with like a monitor. Same thing with a laptop. But all of our phones nowadays all have beautiful screens. They're all like picture perfect screens. They all have relatively high like resolutions. And the HDR is usually really clean and really good because either A, they pair up with Dolby and do something, or they're Samsung and they've been doing this for years. And this is also just a lot easier for them to create really good looking screens on really small devices. It's a lot easier for them to manufacture as opposed to, and like push out 1,000 nit brightness on a phone as opposed to a TV where they're like, I don't really know how. It's going to cost a lot of money. And that's why like those screens are like $17,000 or something. And yeah, but that like I said, that's probably only for like some games where I just want to, like, I wonder how Witcher would look. And I play like a cutscene or two. I'm like, damn, this looks beautiful. But then I'd go back because trying to go through the menus would be too.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I could barely do the Witcher on normal TV, let alone a fucking phone screen. The menus are one of the reasons why I couldn't fucking stick with the game. Like they're not bad it's all well done. It's just a lot. There's just so many options. It's just too much for me.
I would do only games that I'm like really familiar with. Like so Fortnite. I mean, like obviously that's really easy. I know the controls very well. I don't have to be looking at small items the entire time. Maybe the reticule might be like the only thing that I'd be like, I don't know if I'm hitting them or not. But like those games like that, or games like, I guess, kind of Red Dead, where it's like there's not a whole lot going on screen at a given time. It's like I'm walking around on a horse.
What's up, John?
We're just going around and doing things that are like, the controls are pretty simple. Like I'm not doing anything too intensive. But if you want me to be playing something that, like, I don't know, has like a bunch of tiny things on the screen, and I have to read all the little tiny notes and like a little subtext for everything, like, no, I'm not going to do that. There's no way I'm going to like try to look at my little tiny 5 or 6 inch display and just be like, no.
No. I definitely agree. Like, one of you brought up Assassin's Creed earlier about streaming it, and goddamn, no.
Yeah.
When I did Origins was when the TV broke. So we went from, what was it?
When I broke the TV, you mean? Thank you for being kind there.
Yes, when you broke the TV. What is 50 inch, right? 55?
55.
Yeah.
55. We went from a 55 inch TV to, what was Dominic's, like a 40?
32.
32.
Okay, so we went from a 55 inch TV to a 32 inch TV. I don't know when the last time, well, I know you was kind of recent, John, because you played through Odyssey. But I don't know when the last time you played an Assassin's Creed was, Joel. But god damn it, have you ever tried to look at the fucking map?
Unity.
Oh, God. Yeah, those maps. Oh, God.
Lord.
Any Ubisoft, really. Like, trying to look at their...
Ubisoft's got to be
so
more
cluttered,
kind,
right?
too.
Is that what you mean?
When everything's cluttered and it's small.
Yeah.
I could not do
No,
that.
I know. Like, I didn't finish Unity because I stopped and decided, okay, I need to clear the screen. So I went around collecting everything and clearing as much fucking room on that shit.
It's so fucking cluttered.
Yeah, I almost Black Flag. I'm not a collectible person. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just play through a story and do fight whatever the fuck. But I won't.
I give a shit.
Yeah, fuck you and your weird trophies. I'm not gonna play through it after the game and then try to collect everything. I don't do that. But with Black Flag, I love Black Flag being a pirate, so I didn't mind going around and clearing the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I almost got it all, but then I still went to 60. And that was it.
Yeah. Real quickly on a tangent though. Speaking of like these displays, there's currently like the Samsung one out right now. I think it's like the same model as Dominic's, if not like, if his was like a 72, it's a 7100. So basically it's like $350 50-inch 4K HDR Samsung TV, and it's like $350, and I'm just like resisting the urge to be like, that is so cheap. Like, how much did we pay for this? Or did you pay for this? But like before we all paid for it?
Like $390.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so like for about the same thing as this, I'm just like,
You are in need of a TV.
I am. I'm more in need of a monitor, but I want HDR, like actual HDR. But the issue with that is like no monitors have that, and if they do, they're like fucking expensive.
Pricey,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I also would like OLED for a monitor. OLED was just nice. That's all. I think that's the other thing that like I really want to play a game in OLED. Like imagine I don't know. Shadow Mordor or something, some like dark game, you know, but like on an
Tomb
OLED
Raider.
screen. I really want to play one of those, and so that's why one of the reasons I think I would like. I'm totally down for like them streaming these games to our phone. It's just so I could see how like a game would look on an OLED screen and just be like, oh, this is beautiful. Like this is so fucking beautiful. But I don't get that because I mean, like, sure, these TVs can get dark, but like, in my mind, I just know there's something beyond this.
Yeah, until you
Something
witness
beyond
it,
the
until you
blackness.
witness how good TVs can look.
Yeah, whenever we go to Best Buy or Costco and they just have all those screens on display, I'm just like silently crying inside because I'm like, fuck, this looks so beautiful. I want this. At some point, I want this. I don't even care if it's like oh, this is like the shittiest OLED, you know, or like, I mean, but nowadays, because even like the shittiest OLED, like what? LG's first OLED TVs, I'm sure still look far better than some of these TVs
How-
we have.
It's been a while since I remember hearing about 4K TVs like at CES and stuff, and
Oh yeah,
8K
8K.
TVs were like still
All the rage.
around the same time too.
Yeah, they're all the rage now.
So when the next 2 years, 3 years, we should get one in.
20K.
And
In
AK?
your home.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, man. AK. AK.
'Cause it's been a
Fuck yeah.
while.
Mhm.
It's
It took
been
a
like
while for
2.5,
4K
3
to get
years.
to where it is now. And
Even then,
now,
yeah, it's
not
still
super
it's still part of the
adopted. well
minority.
adopted.
Yeah. HDR is getting more because that doesn't require a whole lot, but it's still a significant like improvement in picture quality. So like that's why like you'll see like news outlets or not news like ABC or Fox and stuff like that. If you look at how they were going like about implementing 4K, they would always be like, I don't want them to look at my face and see all my like pores and stuff like that. Normally joking, but you can see their hesitation. But as soon as like HDR came out, they're like now like almost all these TVs and sports, boom, it's all in HDR. Not all of it, but a good amount. Like they're way more accepting of that than the other one. But it's interesting how people treat.
Well, technology is weird, John, and I'm gonna go ahead and use that to segue to what I want to talk about mainly here.
Originally?
Yeah. So last week, I think it was, you had come out talking about your Facebook woes, how you wanted to delete all of your past posts,
Right.
but they capped it at 50 per day or something?
No, it's just 50 at a time.
50 at a time. So what does
Yeah.
that mean?
So I would have to select 50 posts, delete them. Select another 50 posts, delete them. Select another 50 posts.
That's not bad. How many posts did you have on Facebook?
2012 to 2014
Shit, if
was
I
a
had
very
more-
bad year.
If I had
Those-
more than 150 posts on Facebook total, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I don't think I had too much. Like, I don't post. I've never been one to really post
Yeah,
too
me
much.
neither.
I think I posted more on Facebook early
Yeah.
on because we were
I mean, there were
In
some
8th grade.
on there a lot.
months that I had at least 150.
I was opposed to like social media from the first
Yeah.
place. I didn't even make the Facebook account I have now. The Facebook account I have now, I didn't even make myself. My sister made it for me because I refused to make one. I'm like, no, I don't need one. She's like, you have to have
Me and
one.
MySpace.
Then you make it, and she's like, okay, and so she made it. I'm like, all right. I mean, it's up there now, so I guess I have to be part of this community.
Honestly, Twitter. Like, I
And-
Why did
prefer
you feel like
Twitter.
that?
Twitter, I use Facebook pretty much how I use Twitter now. And at this point, all of my social media is really just a news feed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I follow
Yeah.
different creators and different
Yeah.
things I want to hear from, and I don't really tweet too much. I started to tweet some now, but like I think the last time I
Honestly
tweeted before,
surprised.
like this past week, was maybe 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I think it was like another 4 months before then. It's only like one tweet at a time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not how I use these things.
And it's really interesting. I mean, especially like with what we are currently doing right now. Like the idea is like kind of need to. I mean, you don't need to be on social media, but it definitely helps.
well.
It definitely helps.
Like when you're trying to create something,
Yeah.
it definitely helps to be actually active on social media. But that's the other thing is, I guess one of the things I know some people like I don't know what they're called, but people that like know like social media well enough that they can give advice on how to properly use some like different websites and stuff like that is because like I don't see
Social media
myself.
advisors?
Yeah, I guess
Communications.
something like
Community advisors?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Community
Yeah,
outreach?
Go on.
gurus, tech gurus. I don't know.
No tech gurus,
Geek
no.
Squad?
But anyways, it's really interesting because like now all I can think of is like I guess I can use Twitter now, or I'll start using it now, or I'll use so and so now. But in reality, I just know I'm just gonna want to be like, hey, the new thing is live, go check it out. Hey, the new thing is live, go. But that's not really good. Like
Yeah.
if we're posting that, say like we were posting these on YouTube, right? And then like all Twitter is just us advertising YouTube. That's not good because
Yeah, no, definitely.
like-
Well,
And that is why we have a TopCup account.
well,
yeah,
no,
so,
but
well,
yeah.
yeah.
The idea is you need to keep them their own individual things,
And that's pretty much why
Reason.
like I started like to post more. I want to get comfortable doing that stuff. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I do want it. What I'm interested in is sort of seeing how this evolves, and if we get one person to listen to this,
Yeah.
and then
One person that
helps,
we don't
and
know.
Yeah, the one person that we don't know.
yeah,
and then we can get
that's
a
key.
conversation started there. Like I think it's really fun to see the conversations had between communities and creators, and just how their services and products like evolved based on that back and forth. And I'm just curious to see how it will be to be part of that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how this is going to change over time now that just adding you in the second one, the conversation is going to change based off of what it originally was.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, viewership gonna plummet.
Yeah, from 0 to -1.
That's the magic of Daniel.
But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting navigating all that social stuff because again, like I just we're not particularly avid on any of these accounts, and it would definitely help if we had something so that way people would go like, oh, because again, like, I think I heard a quote and it's good. It's they're already fans of you, so why do you still need to advertise for the other thing, that having 2 social media accounts? And it's like, yeah, like I don't hate it, but it kind of sucks, when you're like, oh, I'm a big fan of this YouTuber, I'm gonna check out what their Twitter's like because they're like, follow me on Twitter, and you check their fucking feed and it's just like YouTube, and I'm like, no, dude, I want to know about like what you're like what you're going through, what your life. Yeah, sure, you might not think like getting a Starbucks or whatever your slight one line opinion about this new roast or whatever at Starbucks is, but hey, it's cool because I get a look into your life. And at the same time, while I'm thinking all of this, I'm like, none of my shit matters, and I don't post anything. So it's just like it's gonna be so weird if like you said, if we get at least any little traction from this, having to be in that space of like, should I really post? Do people really care? And it's just like, kind of are at least interested, and it's just going from not being social at all.
It's about, and that's pretty much why I started thinking about this in the first place, was just it's about building an online identity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to know like what that is to you guys, what your online identity is. Do you now sort of want to curate it in a way by like going back and deleting what you don't like? Because I mean, we've changed since we were in high school, which is when we were predominantly active on Facebook.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I understand. Like for myself, I don't think I ever say anything too egregious.
Right.
But I definitely, and I have gone back and like taken stuff out over time. Though I feel like some of it popped back up because I looked back and some things I didn't agree with were on there. But for the most part, I kind of want to just keep it as it is, just sort of as a.
I mean,
just to see how I was then.
A friendly
No.
reminder
me-
of how much progress you've made.
yeah,
It
no,
keeps
for,
me modest.
for sure. I mean, and I was gonna say, like, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily curating because I don't like the idea of like that. For me, it's more. I would rather just that stuff be private, and that I never actually deleted anything. I just privated everything because for me, like you said, I like those memories. I do. Some of them are stupid conversations we had as kids, and like I do like seeing them because it's like, oh yeah, like,
there's some things on there I'm like, I don't agree. I don't think this is necessarily funny.
I find it weird because again, I wasn't an adult. I guess I didn't have. I mean, sure, I was like 16, so I was kind of close, but still, the idea is that like I had very childish. Like I used it for childish means and stuff like that. So it's weird seeing other adult people and looking at that and like judging me off that. I was like, it's been like 10 years,
Yeah.
dude. Like I was literally a kid when I wrote this shit, and so it's less that I'm trying to curate it. It's just more like I'm trying to private my childhood because I don't want my childhood out for a display for everyone. If it's my adult self, that's fine because this is who I am now. I'm an adult. I can stand by my convictions, my thoughts, and stuff like that. And if I need to say I was wrong, then I say I was wrong. Whereas, like, if anyone got mad at me on any of the shit back then, regardless if I'm right or wrong, my only thoughts are just going to be, I was a kid. Like, I don't know what you want from me, dude.
But I mean, I think, especially looking at it through the lens of like the whole James Gunn
Right.
ordeal that happened,
Mm-hmm.
it isn't weird to want to
Yeah.
go back and make sure that anything that could be used against you
That
isn't
fear.
there, especially if you don't
Yeah.
stand by that anymore. If you're
Yeah.
definitely a different person, like it is scary because especially in social media, people just are quicker to enrage than they are to understand.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it is
Because you lose a lot of the context because all they see is just the
context is very
words.
important.
And you don't know why that joke or if it is a joke, how that came to be. Sometimes people are, and it's very much a very known thing, it's subtweeting. You tweet about something without specifically saying something, but the whole act of that is you're being vague. So if you're subtweeting a joke about something that you made with a friend and you think, but he'll understand it. Yeah, like the other 30,000 people that follow you probably won't understand it. So then it's like, well, shit, like it doesn't really work like that. So yeah, no.
What do you think, Danny?
Yeah.
I think that recently I have been changing my habits on social media.
Yeah, you
You've been posting way
you
more.
didn't have a Twitter until
Yeah,
we made you get
I was
one.
actually gonna bring that up.
Okay, go on.
Yeah.
So Facebook, of course, we're all active, and that was our main form of communication. That barely started slowing down. Late last year, because we still talk on Messenger. That is literally
Messenger. I just think is the supreme app, like messaging app. So that's why I use it so much.
Yeah, and honestly, that's literally the only reason I have Facebook still is because we talk through Messenger, and that was our group chat thing.
Mm.
That was how we still keep in contact with other folks and stuff because internet, fuck phone numbers, right?
Do you know any phone numbers by memory?
I know my mother's.
I know nobody's, and that's bad.
I know my
I think I should know
dad's
at least one.
and half of
My emergency
Brianna's.
contact should be at least.
I know
the one I remember.
I know mine by heart. I know Alma's by heart, and I know my mom's by heart. That's about it.
Yes.
You would think I would know your dad's because of all the nines, but honestly, it just
Oh, yeah.
confuses me more.
It's
I don't know where the nines
see,
go, and I don't know where the ones
They're
that
all
are
in the
nines
beginning.
go.
Are they on the beginning?
They're like literally in the middle. Area code, his number, and then like the so it's the area code.
How many numbers in the phone number are 9?
4.
No,
5.
that's more than 4.
5. If
Really?
you include area code.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like
If you
7.
No, if you include area code, it's 5. If you just go based off his regular number without the area code, it's 4. And that's why I'm saying and they're all literally one after another. It's not like there's a
Very
9 there, a
sequential.
9 there. No, it's literally 9999999. You're like you're German for a second.
I know. It's always funny hearing the phone like read it back in the monotone voice.
999.
Yeah, but yeah, Facebook. I never really liked Facebook for the sheer fact that I have family on Facebook.
Yeah.
And because I don't like when people throw their beef on Facebook, and my family, that is like 4 out of 5 of their fucking Facebook posts. And it pisses me off, and it reminds me why I don't like going home.
Okay, do you have your family as friends?
I have my
I
dad.
do have
You do.
some of my family as friends.
I
Yeah.
have my dad blocked.
I don't. I have family that send me friend requests, but I'm not gonna. It's not like I even use Facebook, but I don't wanna create that opening for them to message me. Nothing against my family, but I don't like really talk to people in the first place. And if I don't, it's always the family members that are like super estranged or whatever, and I don't know you, but you remember you remember me from when I was like 3.
I just recently added my grandma Alice, accepted her friend request rather. It was weird.
When I was going through my Facebook thing, I actually wanted to look into my dad's, because for a split second I was like, if my Facebook is at least a little PG enough, maybe I can actually like let him. But I still decided no. But I tried looking up my dad, and I realized I couldn't do it because I have him blocked. So that's a 2-way street. He can't look at my shit. I can't look at his. So I pulled up Brianna's phone, and I looked up his account using Brianna's, and it made me feel really bad based on the amount of times he's mentioned me and like written my name and stuff. But he can't actually at me because I have him blocked. And some of it is really makes me feel bad because some of them are like birthday posts about my birthday, and then people are commenting on it.
You're the worst.
Yeah.
And
you're the worst. What your father is.
I know.
sweetheart.
And so that's why I felt really bad. And some of them I have like to do with him and me, and then my mom and stuff like that. And he'll tag me in those, and then people will reply, and then I still feel bad. But the thing is, it's the post itself that makes me feel bad. Much like you, I don't care about the comments because, like, again, he posted my birthday and had a picture of me, and he didn't really at me, but it has my name on it, so I know it's supposed to be. If we were friends, it would have added me. But then I look at all the comments, and I recognize like 2 people, and I'm like, I don't know who the other 80 people are that are telling me happy birthday, and even the 2 that do, I haven't talked to you in like 6 years.
Yeah, like my sister, on my birthday, my sister will make a post for me, and then all the comments are a bunch of different aunts and uncles. Just see Martinez. I have no idea who any of them are.
Then a bunch of people from back home who are like 2 grades lower than us that are just liking it because their friends are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really weird, and that's why I said I wanted to keep all my posts, but at least private them, so that way if I do allow my dad to access my Facebook page, I can then just be like, but no, like he gets to see this, but not that. Thankfully, I have pages for my account, so I'm just like, he can look at that page because that page will be everything else.
Yeah, but yeah, Facebook, I'm not very active anymore, and Twitter, I'm rarely active. And honestly, I would love to be more active.
I think you're more active on Twitter than Joel and I are
Yeah.
in the
I'm
past few
active
months.
recently, because because just like Joel and presumably you, my Twitter feed is a news feed. And honestly, I'm finding myself becoming more and more active on it via comments.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to comment on a lot more posts, and it's been nice because every so often I'll get 1 or 2 likes, and I got a retweet.
Nice.
It was on a Philip DeFranco post.
8.
Yeah,
Hey.
because it was him swinging his kid around, his older kid.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah, and then I scrolled down, and it was Nintendo Direct. A Nintendo Direct tweet, or from Nintendo USA, whatever the fuck it is. And it was the one of Mario 64 where he's swinging.
Oh,
Bowser
yeah.
around.
Yeah, I saw.
And so I went back. I looked at the GIF, put it on there, and I was like, "This is the right below this post," and I was amused. And I got like fucking 20 likes and like 2 retweets.
See,
That was really interesting for me.
Yeah, see, if there's some like nice like feeling about that, you're like, ooh, people like what I said. Yeah,
No one that I knew.
yeah,
So
no,
that
it's
was
no
great.
one you know.
But
It's no one you
That's
know.
important.
like you mentioned earlier, the origin story of my Twitter. I was
Oh yeah, you're
very
talking.
firmly against Twitter because I just didn't care. I thought it was I didn't see it as useful at all. I also got kind of turned off by it by my cousin Kayla because like she would tweet so much that she would get Twitter locked
What?
more than once.
Jesus.
Yeah, she would get Twitter jail like on several occasions, and basically because all I saw Twitter as was a place for people just to put updates that are happening 5 minutes apart, you know, and that's kind of what it used to be. And especially when you used to be able to when it used to read like the name is doing this, and you know, is eating a sandwich, is going to Danuba, blah 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 blah, and a lot. You don't remember that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Really? Yeah, that was like a thing, and it was kind of annoying. It kind of turned me off of Twitter because, again, it seemed like just constant updates that were 5, 10, maybe an hour apart, and it just like seemed very stupid to me. And I was turned against it. But then once we moved over here, I started seeing it, especially when you got like more active on Twitter. And,
Yeah, I don't even know when exactly I started getting on Twitter.
Yeah, it kind of flipped for me because you said the magic words, which was, yeah, it's kind of just like my newsfeed. It's kind of where I just like follow people and like I just get news from it. And it's like, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about how you use it.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm still not gonna make a Twitter.
It sucks. I wanted you to get a Twitter for so long. I just wanted to at you. I just wanted the ability to at you.
Yeah. And it wasn't until we decided that we wanted to get serious about TopCup, which, let the record show, was about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years
And
ago.
for those of you who won't be watching this with a date, that is about 2015, 2016. Yeah, around that area is when we decided to get, and it's 2019 at the moment.
To be fair,
Get serious in quotations, of course.
Yes.
to be fair, I had a Twitter before all that. So
Yeah.
Like I had it, me too. Okay, like technically, I had a Twitter around the time it started. I just didn't use it because I don't really have internet at the time. I met at my cousin's.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how the fuck to get back into that one. Don't remember what the fucking any of the information for it was. So whatever. And then I eventually made the current one I have.
Yeah, and that kind of sparked a change in me, which was I need to have a social media presence. And if we're going to do the Top Cup thing, and we knew it was going to be Top Cup games, I had to make myself more recognizable. So that meant, excuse me, that meant narrowing down how people can find me. And that's how I started my journey as your buddy Danny.
I love that for you. I think it's so fucking perfect.
Yeah.
God, such a good one for him.
Yeah, and I was like, this seems very generic.
Anytime
I entered it, that username's available.
Yeah, nice.
That username's available.
Nice. Do you use that for everything then?
Not particularly everything, but when I have to make a username for things that are like for me, then I'll use your buddy Danny. Like on Switch, my thing, I couldn't fit the whole fucking thing, so I just put YBD. I was like, I gotta take a hit. I just gotta shorten it up. But yeah, so it's pretty much everywhere that I would like people to find me. Is gonna be your buddy Danny or some variation of that.
Yeah, I guess that's
trying to dodge underscores.
The same thing for me. I started with Senior Fluffles in high school when I made my Xbox Live account.
Right. Sorry. And that's when I changed I spent the $8 to change my gamer tag to your buddy.
Yeah.
Danny.
what was there originally?
Dioro 0056.
Oh yeah,
And it was too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hated
It's
that.
too much for people. Some people would just be like, hey, 56. And I was like, eh.
Yeah. No, numbers are annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so my gamer tag is now my pretty much default username for anything that people can find me with.
And I love it.
Yeah, like well, as long as it's not taken, otherwise it's some variation of Senior Fluffles.
Mhm.
You know, maybe the Senior abbreviated or that Senior Fluffles is what I am on Instagram.
Senior.
Okay,
When you can't do it. When you can't do it.
That's Senor. Yeah. But at some point I decided, fuck that, because it used to be pretty much my username for everything, but I didn't want things that were like professional-ish to be Senior Fluffles. So I had to start using like an abbreviation of
Joy Mart.
my name, whatever it was.
I love Joy Mart. It sounds like a kind of like a mom and pop retail store.
Yeah,
Joy Mart.
I started doing about the same, but
Like
what I mainly do is like, so Twitter, my @ would be Clingy Mite, but my name would just be my name.
That's what it is for me too.
Yeah, and I've started trying to do that for anything I have. So Instagram, if you try to go in there, it'd be like @Clingy Mite. But then when you look at my title, it would say my name, John Ovidas. And same thing with Facebook.
Is it not by default that?
Sometimes it isn't. Like sometimes it'll default to some other thing, and you have to go in and change it if you're even able to. Though on Facebook, I actually just decided to make a page from the for Clingy Mite, and then a page for me. And the idea behind it was the John Ovidas, my Facebook page, mine would be for me, my family, my friends, stuff like that. And the other ones would be more of a professional way. So say we did stuff in the gaming community, then obviously our gamer tags would be the identities that we go by. So that would be my Clingy Mite page. That's where like all that stuff would be curated.
Yeah.
But say I wanted to go into more professional photography, post-processing kind of thing where I'm trying to look for jobs like that, I wouldn't use Clingy Mite. I would use John Avitas, and that's where I'd post that. So like say I had two careers more or less. Say like I ended up going into gaming, but I still kept my photography side. So then here's a page that's curated for all gaming, social media kind of stuff, and then here's all my actual photography business side. That's what I try to do, and I think because I do have that on Facebook, it did carry over to what's it called, Instagram, just because they're connected. However, with Twitter, that just seems like that I'm just gonna have to live with what I have, and yeah, it's just
there's no going back on Twitter.
There's no going back.
Good luck with that.
I thought about trying to go back on Twitter, and I just
What do you mean?
Like really?
like curate it, I guess how you say.
Oh, right, because well,
yeah.
Thankfully for me, I didn't post a whole lot. So it was pretty easy.
Same.
The main thing is that like a lot of it was just like stupid one-on-one conversations that I'm using posting though, and that's what annoyed me the most. Like same thing with Facebook. It's like I was just talking to like one person, but for some reason I was posting and not just messaging. I don't know why. And like at least in Facebook back then, I didn't care enough, but I did use it, but I didn't care enough. So when people hacked my Facebook, I wouldn't actually do anything about it. I would just be like, yeah, sure, okay. And I'd leave all those post stuff.
Hacking quotations. There, by the way.
Yeah, hacking quotations. So yeah, that was another reason why I really wanted to go back and delete some things, because I can safely say some things on it, they weren't me.
Yeah, they weren't you.
They literally just weren't me. They were just
I never
people.
understood that. That was dumb.
Yeah,
that was dumb, man.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone ever broke into
because
my
I think
phone.
like again back then.
No, again, it wasn't really like first. It wasn't really hacking.
Yeah, it wasn't really hacking.
They just get you to open your phone, or you leave it open while you go.
Did you give them?
Yeah, sometimes I would.
Yeah,
I would
just give them.
I would like, hey, can I go on your Facebook and like message some people like as you? Sure, okay, whatever. Like I don't care. I think the other thing was just like sometimes I didn't think they would become as big as they did. I definitely didn't think they would get to the point where if someone saw something from 10 years ago and be like, hey, let's get this person for a stupid comment he made 10 years ago. Like, I didn't think it would evolve to that level. At the very least, I didn't think it would evolve to like some people like in the professional scene might actually look at like new hires and look at their Facebook and look at their stuff. And though they're not technically allowed to be like, we're not hiring you because of that, they can still like see who you are and be like, I don't know if you're a good fit based off like the personality that you portray. And so that's why I've just over the years I've realized Facebook's not going away, and we use that a lot, or at least I did as a kid. So there's a lot of childish stuff, and like I'm just
Yeah.
no. So that's why like I'd rather I don't want to delete that stuff because it's still memories, but I do want to private it. At the same time, I kind of just think maybe just create a new Facebook, and that would be my main one. But that's what I kind of did with Pages. So I'm like, it kind of scratches that itch for the most part. If I ever do, I figure because I guess the main thing I would like to try to do is lock my Facebook if I ever could, like lock it. No one can access it, but it's still there, and I can still check on it, and I can still use it to message people.
Yeah, just make it private.
But I don't know how. And I don't know if there's like an easy way to do that.
It should be in the settings, like who can see me, blah blah blah.
Yeah, from what I saw, again, it's not important, but basically it's mainly friends. Anyways, but yeah, I always thought maybe we would just lock that account and just kind of like keep it suspended as a locked account, frozen account, more or less.
Space.
And
Sorry, I love the Dodgers so much.
it's fine. And then like just create a new Facebook and just have that be my main one. But I don't know. It's because I just kind of want to start over, like with the mindset of where we are now, and less of that. Because like I said, I think one of the main things, I didn't think they would get this big, or at least they would stay this
that
big.
We would want to get this big, like as big as we want to get.
I do
people in a way.
Let me pose this question then.
Just appeared.
We have company.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch stuff?
As long as he has his earphones on, he's good.
All right.
Yeah.
I was like, with the TV, like. Then I saw what was in your hand. I'm like, oh, okay.
Contemplating, you were just like, okay, when you're gonna watch stuff while we're doing this, and then you saw me do that, and then you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
And then I realized
what I was doing.
Then I realized I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I still have these headphones right here. If you wanted to use these.
Oh, dope! Yeah, please, fuck.
Just don't let anything get too loud. Otherwise, we'll be able to hear it.
Oh yeah.
Which is why I'm surprised after all that he let you use his headphones.
Play Resident Evil.
No, I mean like unless it gets really loud, it shouldn't get up.
So I'd like to ask you guys then, do you think it is important to have an online presence in this day and age?
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 would do.
definitely. So besides just wanting to do it for this, I figure if I want to pursue anything creative, then I think having myself on the internet is going to be important. Being able to
Oh yeah, of course.
talk to people through social media is going to be a crucial skill to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I definitely think that as like you actually put it really well. That if you want to do anything creative nowadays, and it social media has opened up such a huge fucking door. For creators,
social media, not just social media, but like YouTube and like sources like Patreon, just the internet in general has made it a lot easier to make a living off of your art, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of these things, like with Patreon, specifically, is like, ¿Qué te dije? ¿Qué te dije?
I didn't think it'd be this loud.
I've John, you're always wearing them. Maybe that's why, but it gets loud. I hear your shit all the time.
Yeah. I can faintly hear Philip DeFranco.
Okay.
Lower. There you go.
You're good, man.
Start talking.
What?
Oh yeah.
Start talking.
What?
Why? Because
Why?
Because here you guys are gonna overpower me.
Oh, gotcha.
Are we?
Yeah.
And then put on the other fucking earphones. God damn it.
Well, yeah, you
I said this from the
I was
beginning.
trying to be considerate.
You just wanted to show off, John. Stop it.
100% true.
I have to find fucking. Oh, where are those?
There's mine.
The bows.
I didn't bring mine, so.
Where are yours?
There should be on the ottoman. There are two cases. One of them has headphones. One of them doesn't.
Mine's-
One of them has your death.
One of
One
them
of them does not. Choose wisely.
One's heavy, one's not.
What is
One,
the other
one of them has
One of them's-
100 red fire ants.
Because he found it outside.
The other does not.
And he
Choose
thought it was
wisely.
his.
One of them has headphones. The other has a dick in the box.
One of them has your broken dreams. One of them does not. Choose wisely.
One of them has
Wait,
your
what
hopes and
scenario
dreams.
here?
One of them has your hopes and dreams.
If
the
you
other
open the one with your,
crushes them.
if you open the one with your hopes and dreams, you will never be able to achieve them. Choose wisely.
Oh fuck!
Wow. Suddenly not opening any shit. Any fucking box.
Pandora ain't gonna ever have that box open.
Nope.
That was wild.
Kind of dark, kind of depressing.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's not just social media, but internet in general that has really opened it up for anybody, any creative types to make a living off of their art.
Mhm.
You know, and with things like Patreon really
Patreon.
exemplifying the
Etsy.
importance of the creators and the community.
Mhm.
You just need your community. You just need your small community to be able to make a living off of your art, and it's powerful stuff. So, you know,
Yep.
social media really is important to that because you get to keep that connection with your community.
Mhm.
And so, in order for me to, you know, do what I want creatively, I need to be comfortable with, comfortable interfacing with the public.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was gonna say it has become so apparent how important things like social media are. And like John was saying that he wants to, what I'd rather say, clean up his social media presence. And I agree with that, and I agree why. But for my Twitter, I know damn well that my lack of posting and communication on Twitter means that I have a pretty clean slate. But I have found myself following a lot of voice actors that I really like. Of course, Troy Baker, VA.
Yeah, dude,
Out there.
awesome.
Oh God, fucking love
Handsome.
Troy Baker. And
Talented.
I don't know why it took me so long, but I also followed the other one.
The other one,
Nathan Drake, please.
ugh, I can't believe you can't remember.
I can't think of his fucking
Uh,
You can't either. Don't fucking give me that shit.
Yeah, God, it's on the tip of my Nolan North.
Nolan North, thank you. Fucking A.
Another handsome man, talented as well.
Yeah, it took me a while to follow Nolan, but I've been following Troy Baker for a while. Yeah, and then I, sometime after Spider-Man, I started following Yuri Lowenthal. So the voice of Ben, Sasuke, Peter, whatnot. And it's been really nice, and it's been opening me up to a bigger community. And ever since Irene Coe was on Comic Book Club, I started following her, and it led me to following more artists and stuff. And it's so interesting because I have yet to be in a place to help support these people like Irene on Patreon, and it's like different artists that I end up following and stuff. But I know eventually I'm going to, whether it's buy pieces of their work or just subscribe to their Patreon or whatever the fuck. But I brought up John cleaning up his Twitter because seeing these people, how they interact on their Twitters, it's both business and kind of personal, because I do see what the voice of Tom
And Jerry?
Rex.
Jerry?
Tom has no voice.
Rex from Bebop.
Steve Bloom.
Steve Bloom. Yeah, I started following Steve Bloom,
Bloom?
and he is very active and very opinionated. And I see him talking about different stuff too. That's more of a personal life thing, and it's really interesting to see how these people interact on Twitter, because you do, like, I understand the separating the business from the personal, but also when you're able to have business and personal together, your fans can see who they're supporting, and your fans can
Few
see who they're
excuse.
supporting, like what kind of person you are, and also the kind of work you do. And I think that's really cool. So if I continue to be active on Twitter, I want to be able, and we actually like make something of whatever we're doing in our lives. Because of course, you know, I have a fucking binder full of shit that I'm interested in that all culminates in some form of art, whether it's voice acting, fucking music, singing primarily, drawing, writing, whatever the fuck. If that becomes tied to my current Twitter account, I want that to be a door for people to see like what I'm about and also what I'm working on. And I think that's cool for me.
Yeah,
that works out for me.
That for me, it's what is the biggest hurdle is getting comfortable with showing people the things that I make. You know, and this here is going to be one of them. And it's a lot easier to do this because at least I'm not the only fool here. You know, I'm being joined by two other wonderful fools.
Can't wait till we get a table and a camera.
At least I'll have company.
No, we have a camera.
Well, yeah, we have
Can't
a
wait
camera.
till we get a
We just
table.
need to figure out the setup. I didn't care, but he doesn't like the single camera setups. So whatever.
Okay.
Because it's okay. So I don't like the single camera.
I would
setup.
love to be able to be like, can I get the one?
Yes, John. Sorry, go on.
So I don't like the single camera setup mainly because visually it's weird if I'm watching all three of us the whole time you were just talking. Visually, there's some disconnect that I just don't like. I like it if you're going to be talking for like the next 2-3 minutes continuously, then I want the camera to be doing a portrait or close up on you.
Just a one shot.
This is a one shot because it's you. You're the focus. But if it's like everyone else, it's as a viewer, it's kind of weird because yeah, we hear you, but at the same time, like I don't know where my focus is because it's a weird thing because in my head I'm thinking, yes, you're talking, but then Joel and I are doing something stupid in the background, and that's why it's a wide shot. That's what I think.
Okay.
I mean, I get it. For me, it's just starting with like kind of funny. That's when like the first podcast visual. Yes, Daniel, you're raising your hand.
I meant to start before you started, but I was gonna say I'd like to push forward an idea called free drink voucher, where we stumble upon an extra topic, which is better like something having to do with how it changes from just behind the mics to being in front of a camera. Not every time. I'm just saying this is extra topic material because we're already like almost 2 hours in.
I'll be honest, I missed that. What you're trying to say here, but I'm gonna go ahead and move past it.
Go for it.
What was I saying? Right, with kind of funny.
We'll clean it up in post.
with kind of funny. They didn't always have the studio that they have now.
Yeah.
So they didn't have the multi-camera setup, and it was I never had a problem having them all on screen and figuring out who I was supposed to keep track of, and then having the always be a wide shot, let like people look at the camera in sort of a Office or Parks and Rec kind of way, and it made it sort of fun.
Were they
in that sense.
primarily looking at the camera though?
No,
like, we're facing it.
No, they're all facing each other. The only people that are looking at the camera are the people that are actually in front, like directionally in the camera, which are the two people in the middle of the table.
Yeah, they never look at the camera.
Yeah,
unless it's like
they don't necessarily look at it. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, and it is definitely a different situation when it's just us behind a mic. No one can see what we're doing. We can be very sprawled out amongst the living room in 3 different corners as we are now and just looking at each other. Whereas in front of a camera, things are definitely different.
Yeah,
because
I can't
we
kick my feet
have to
up like I have
learn
been.
how to adapt to that and how to not be boring, which means we have to...
You have to work on that for sure.
Oh,
I would definitely have to work on whenever you start talking, because it's not that I don't listen.
You dip
it's
to your
just
phone.
my body language inherently looks and like if anyone were to look at my body language whenever you for some reason start talking, it's very much just like I am so uninterested. my phone is more interesting at this current moment, or that sign, or the fucking ground. I don't know why. I don't.
Yeah, don't
Like,
get me
I'm
wrong.
listening.
Same thing happens to you. At least I have the decency to look at you.
Look, man.
It's just polite, John.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like it's so like.
Well, here's the thing: if you were listening still, it's one thing, but you don't always.
I don't.
You
Like,
check
if you-
out.
Because
You pull
sometimes,
you pull the divider shade in a limo. You're just like, and my voice slowly disappears.
because sometimes, like, I won't necessarily look at you while I'm listening. I'll maybe look down or something, but I'll be just processing, and that's what I'll
And
But
moving
I'm
the
still
mic close to
listening.
your
I'm still always
face.
listening.
Right.
You're just an asshole, John.
If it helps Joel, it's never to you.
But no, like this
It
is
helps a lot, actually.
this is something that we've kind of known, we've kind of talked about before, especially when we tried doing the in front of the camera stuff, and mainly the main thing was trying to get Dominic to focus. It was a whole thing, but we do have to. It is a totally different thing because, like, being behind the mic again, we can be lazy, we can be across the living room, we don't have to make anything look pretty, and we
And
can
that's-
have Dominic watching TV next to us.
Let me just say, anything you hear in the background is our buddy Dominic, who's
Yeah.
visiting at the moment.
And
So if you just excuse that, please.
And I really wanted to say this with John in the room, but he had to go grab his charger for the computer before we fucked this up.
Yeah.
But like, you'll hear it in editing.
One of the things- For sure, yeah. Well, I mean, you still could have done that, like
yeah, you just had to crouch under the camera,
whatever.
but we still would have seen you.
The thing was with us, and at the very least for me, I don't want to speak for you guys, but at the very least for me, I definitely want to I don't want to work my way towards something. I just want to be there, right? So,
Yeah. No, I understand.
like one of the things we
definitely
did
get
with early on with this was we tried to have our mics set up as best as possible. We try to have a bunch of good mics, mixer, the software for it. I wanted to immediately go into doing it camera and the podcast, but we're just not. It's gonna take some time to get comfortable. We're definitely more comfortable now doing this than we were when we tried it, a couple years ago.
Oh yeah,
But it takes time to build that comfort.
we
that
watched
security.
we watched and listened to enough podcasts to be
Yeah.
comfortable with knowing how to talk.
So I think if we just eased into it, we could have probably done something by now. But
Probably would have made
We're all picky
all
fucks.
this money worth it.
yeah, we've been picky fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever. Better late than never.
But when we do get it right, it sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I like the way it sounds. Our stuff comes out now, but
Yeah, but no.
in terms of quality of sound, not necessarily quality of content.
Yeah.
we're halfway there, quality of sound. But what I wanted to say was, like, video, like there's a distinct change, and we know this. Like, like, if we're on camera, John could have just randomly rolled his eyes.
I
or
didn't do
we
that.
could have just had footage of that. People would have been like, wow, John's a dick.
Yeah.
And they would understand.
Definitely helps illustrate just how much of an asshole John is. I don't
No,
think
my
you know what I
defense-
think we need
need a
a camera now because I think it's just gonna be us shitting on John and not being
Look,
Received.
the
received
fan
well.
on my computer started spinning, and I was like, really? Now you start like, I'm sure it can't even be picked up, but I'm just like, goddamn.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make is that being on camera, we adjust to suit the needs of people actually seeing that we're not doing shit. So it is a change that we can make, and I understand, like, not liking the single camera thing, and making sure people don't look bored and stuff or whatever. But that's something that we adapt to, like, we can be quiet while other people are talking, and also we can all simultaneously know that everybody needs to talk because we're being watched. So we can adjust our speaking habits. So when I'm doing this, someone can chime in and break me off, as long as you don't break me off the whole fucking point or the whole thing I'm trying. As long as I can make
Yeah,
the
but that
point, you're able to
introduces the
break
whole
in.
issue.
fuck you, John. Stop.
Yeah, and then we get to work past John being a dick and just cutting people off for no reason. Like, we know how to talk. We just have to know how to talk in front of people. Or
Well,
in
here's
the
a,
sense, a camera.
that's another thing for me though, knowing how to talk. So I have anxiety, social anxiety in particular, and talking can be very fucking difficult.
Uh-huh.
Being comfortable talking, being comfortable saying anything to anybody, even close friends like you guys, it can be hard. So and I worked on that, and this is part of my own journey to self-improvement here, by just getting comfortable having my words heard, even if they're stupid, which they're gonna be. I'm gonna say a bunch of dumb stuff. I don't know, I'm not an expert on everything I talk about, games or otherwise, so I have to be comfortable with being a fool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything more to say to that.
Yeah,
Daniel.
yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna be more comfortable in front of a camera than you are. I know that, and basically behind a mic too. Like, honestly, you kind of fucking have to when you're forced into becoming the lead singer of a band that you just joined.
Forced, Daniel?
No, I mean,
forced.
I was kind of pushed off a cliff that I was ready to dive the fuck into, but it's hard. Like singing, I had to become comfortable behind the mic when we were in a band, and I had to be comfortable behind the mic in front of people. Which, honestly, in my voice class, still not comfortable singing in front of people too much. I still go up with nerves when I have to do my final song.
With nerves. Yeah, I heard nerds.
I still have to go up
dude.
there and perform some fucking
Nerds.
nerds behind me. No, that would be an honor. Performing nerds behind me. Anyway, but having all that musical experience that I was given because of how much we performed in high school.
Badly. At that.
Badly, yeah. But also because of how much I've held a mic because of Rock Band. And, just musically, singing has got me a lot more comfortable behind a mic. Like, I can do this literally all day as long as I have some fucking food. But, which in this case, not at all. That's why we're only going like 2 hours. But being in front of a camera is definitely something different because it is somewhat akin to being in front of people. And, we all know that being an on-camera, quote-unquote, personality, you have to maintain that. And you can't, it's hard to drop off of that, especially if you're having, like an off day. Like, you can't be on all the time. But if you break it, during what you're doing, then it becomes somewhat of a problem. So that's something I have to learn to build up, So I'm glad we're just behind the mics right now, but also wouldn't mind being in front of the camera because I'm comfortable being behind the mic. It's just the camera is what I need to work on.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm always down to be in front of a camera because that's something I'm not used to. But being behind the mic is kind of like just being in front of someone, or just
And that scares me too.
Being next to you and just being like, "Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear."
Yeah, that definitely scares me. I don't like it when you do that. Don't like it when you do a lot of things.
I know. I'm the bane of your existence at times.
Quite often.
Other times, I'm the reason you're living.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That time you didn't see me, I wasn't really upset. I lied. I didn't care. You scared me.
It was the happiest I've been in years. All the colors were brighter somehow. There was more sun.
I just don't know what it is about you. It's just your face.
You
It's
come
kinda
around
weird.
one time, it rains for a week and a half. But no, long-winded explanation later. Yeah, I have my own anxieties to overcome, and that's mainly just being in front of people because I've been able to work past the stress of being heard,
Mhm.
It's just the being seen while being heard part that needs work. But I know that I can definitely work past that given enough experiences behind it, Plus, I would just love for us to have a set.
Yeah,
It'd look
having a
dope.
set would be dope.
Yeah.
We can work our way there if that's where this goes.
Yeah. Honestly, I still really like the setup we had initially where we just had the table in the middle. We all sat around it and we had all that jazz behind us. I like that as a set. Maybe we could just take a fucking picture, throw it up on a green screen. That's all we need.
as we wind down here, what do you? I want to ask you guys, what do you have in mind for this podcast then? Right? Do you have any ideas? Anything you want to do with it?
Well, John's been on his phone, so I'm gonna
As
stop
we,
talking for a minute.
come together weekly, hopefully,
Um,
and hang out.
I mean, you know how I usually go about these kind of things, like the podcast, filming, anything. I like it because this is the kind of shit I want to get into. So I am all for it because it allows me to practice and get better at knowing how to edit these things, knowing how to, like I was saying in the beginning, figure out how noise gates work, how compressions. I know the terminology, I know what their functions. Now I need to learn applications and stuff like that. So for me, it's a little bit getting better at this kind of stuff, and just like getting more content to work with, that so I can learn and grow as a editor, I guess, in this kind of field. That's one part of it. Another part of it for me is definitely, I would really be happy if we can get like a small following. Of course, that isn't just our friends.
Mm-hmm.
That like is like, hey, we like your stuff. We think you do it good, like, or good enough or whatever. I think that would just be nice. And I guess the third thing would just be like, because I want to be social. I want to be on Twitter. I want to do all that kind of stuff. I want to have a reason to. I want at least a perceived reason why I feel like I can do that kind of stuff. But like right now, as we were saying earlier, it's just like, if I'm about to, or if I do, there's that thought in the head that stops me, which is, yeah, but who's really going to see it? Or who's really going to care? Because right now it's people that I already live with. That is who's going to see it. Or I talk to on a daily basis. And at that point, I could just tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Or like that. Or if I do something and I want one of, like, it's not really you guys, but say I want one of you guys to reply to it because I think it's funny, and no one does. And then I'm like, well, that was pointless and wasteless. And then there's sometimes where I'm like, okay, I won't post it, but I'll just tell them in person. I tell you guys in person, I get more of a reaction that I was hoping for than if I just did it online. So it's just like, So I guess that's the other thing, to be social and to feel like I have a reason to. Even if it's like for a few people, I'd be happy because it's like I'm doing something. People are actually, I'm at least entertaining someone with my thoughts or my jokes or whatever. And for me, that's it. So it's both to grow socially, I guess, in those forms, and to get better at this whole tech side and everything. That's what I want from this podcast and anything else we do from here on.
So you don't really care as to what the content would be, like whether it's like focused on games or whether it's like we each bring a topic, like the Game Over Greg show used to be, like, or whatever. Anything you have in mind?
In a very what is it? Like what was the term? Like, I'm really gonna stroke you off, rub you off, jerk you off right now, or whatever. Basically, I'm just gonna do that for you guys in the sense of,
don't do that to me.
I already have.
Give no consent.
My main thing is, I'm pretty confident that whenever we do, we're usually fine. Like, because we've talked about like a bunch of stuff, whether it's games, whether it's movies, whether it's our poor attempts at understanding how science works or stuff like that. Like we've talked about it and we go on for hours.
Yeah.
And we do.
We're curious enough, I think.
Yeah, and we have pretty decent conversations, I think, to the point where I'm not really concerned what the actual topics are, where the focus is. It does help, like, definitely helps when we come in and know what we need to say, know when we need to transition, and have a better idea as to when, like, okay, this is our focus, and now we're starting to form a tangent, and we need to get back on track, and we need to end this and then move on. That definitely helps.
Yeah, I think that stuff we'll work on as we continue to do this. We'll figure out our rhythm.
Yeah, but that's why. Yeah, in terms of like an overall genre like that we focus on, I've never been too concerned, like I said, and like we're pretty good at it. We can usually go on for a few hours.
I like to get to the point where we can get listener questions and
Oh
listener
yeah, for
topics,
sure.
stuff like that. I think it's always fun. It definitely takes some of the load off of us and
Yeah.
to come up with something. To think
Oh,
about.
yeah, like,
though I don't think
addressing-
we really have a problem with that. There's always enough in any of our interests.
I mean,
Mhm.
really, we can do that already because we have a wide group of friends that honestly do have a wide group of a wide.
I guess we
variety
could
of
ask
thoughts.
friends
Yeah,
right now. Yeah, like hey,
it's like, hey, we're
Topics,
gonna do a podcast. If you want to listen to it, whatever, cool. If not, whatever. We just we're just fishing for topics. Do you have anything we can talk about? And
well, I guess we can
What?
do that now.
We will
Yeah.
be able to do that now because today we will be releasing our first episode.
Today being
San Daniel.
Okay,
Yes.
so both the first and this episode are going to be going up at the same time. Probably going to be going up a week after they're
Oh my god.
they're recorded. Maybe not. I want to record. I want to publish them the same day we record the next one,
Mm-hmm.
which will
Okay.
be next Monday. I don't have the other one done now because we've had guests.
Right.
So you haven't gotten to work on it, but I'll get to it. I promise that by this time next week we should be starting on a regular cadence of doing a weekly.
Don't hold your
recording.
breath. I'm still waiting on a
release.
Spider-Man script.
Oh, okay. It's different. Look, man, leave me alone.
Anyway, is it my turn to answer the question?
I thought
Or are you
I
okay
thought
with
it
John?
already transitioned to you. You started talking.
Yeah,
Oh,
about
okay.
the- how
yeah,
we can
no.
already do that with our friends. Questions, topics, concerns, ideas.
I'm sorry. One more time. He coughed. Couldn't hear it.
You were talking about how he could already.
Right. We can definitely ask our friends for topics, and I feel like if we can get several different topics that we can fish out of, or we'll just get several topics that are just the same, and we're just like, all right, I guess we're doing this fucking
This is
topic,
true.
or we're doing these 3 topics because 6 people told us to do these 3 topics.
Yeah, and like this past 2, I've just been talking about whatever.
Yeah, and then,
Like I've come across like the first one, the main one I think I want to talk to John about was about difficulty in games because like I read that
Mhm.
the comment that one dude had on Nier, and then this past week when you were going through Facebook, that seemed like an interesting thing to talk about too.
Yeah.
Which whenever I have those questions, we'll have those conversations.
Mm.
Like here, you'll come up to me as I'm watching something and interrupt me, and then we'll have an hour-long conversation, or we'll meet in the hall. We'll pass by each other in the hallway, and we'll be there for an hour and talk about
Like
whatever.
yeah, a good
Yeah.
amount of time. Like yeah.
People use the bathroom like 3 times while we're talking in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm always down for a project.
Yeah.
Like for me, this is something.
I always have ideas.
This is something that I have this is like I have that emergency ready to go, get to the hospital, like we're going into labor bag, or like it's a disaster. I have my disaster bag.
He was an
not
hour
to-
late though. Just
Not to
saying.
say, hey, you were in fucking class. What
And
are
I
you
didn't,
talking about,
I didn't even
bitch?
plan this
Yeah.
out today. Next time we'll have shit right. I didn't realize you had class, so I'm like, we'll start at 1:30. And like, I get that too. I'm like, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no.
Daniel, for
I-
making you get here earlier than you planned.
I have this
Myself
as a
not.
breaking case of emergency, like button, like we got invited how many times to do spring fling
I mean, we did it.
And what do you mean
after
invited?
we left.
To what?
Wait, what?
Did we? I guess like a year after
once
for
or twice.
sure.
I think
Yeah.
someone mentioned it once or twice that we could if we
Yeah,
wanted
and
to.
then we were trying to be in talks with Trevino, but he just wasn't getting back to us or whatever. the
Were
fuck.
we?
Yeah,
This is
you don't
news
remember
to
this?
me.
Yeah,
John?
and we were.
I
Do you
think
know about
I
this?
think I remember someone mentioning it, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, if we can, sure. And then I think that was it. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's the last thing I heard.
Yeah. Anyway, like, I was always stoked for that because I love performing no matter how shitty we were, and
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
bad, but it was fun.
I am always down for us to do that again because it was a group activity that we put time and effort in, and I don't know, it felt good to be doing that together and to have a project. And honestly, when we started talking about this, like we've been talking about this shit since high school.
Yeah,
Like-
since high school when I started listening to Kevin Smith, and Kevin Smith is always
Yeah.
he was supportive of everyone, following your dreams, chasing that whimsy,
Mm-hmm.
and how
Constantly quoting
Anyone
Wayne
can do this
Gretzky,
shit.
you
Yeah.
miss 100% of the shots you don't
can't
take.
Yeah,
And it was
can't
even
take.
a little
Got it.
before that
I
when
fucked
you,
up.
me, and Andrew would walk around in PE talking about capture cards because we want to do gameplay.
Yeah. Before. Wow, man! If we had started when we started having these conversations,
Daniel's memories.
I mean,
because
that could be
Let's
said
Plays
for a
were
lot of
big.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were. Gaming wasn't like the main content
Mhm.
that people watch on fucking YouTube.
And
Like
now
it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's crazy.
I digress. But either way, I'm always down for a project. This is my break in case of emergency thing. Like, I am ready to go. I'm ready to put effort into it. I've always been. And even if I don't show a lot of interest, like I'm down to see where it goes, because it's a project that we put time and effort into, and hopefully it bears something good and we can continue it. And like it's a good excuse to get together and sit down and just talk about shit, because we literally do it all the fucking time when we're in a room together.
Well, I mean, it's not unique to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. But this is how podcasts start, Like, this is how things like this start. It's just a bunch of people in the fucking room that just like, let's put it down just for the fuck of it. Just so we
For
can have it,
posterity.
listen to it back and be like how stupid we are. And then all of a sudden it ends up on the internet, and then you're
Then
just like,
everyone's
holy
like,
shit,
"They're
people
so
actually
stupid."
have it
They're so
thoughts
stupid.
similar to
I want to
us.
hear the next stupid thing they said.
Yeah.
And then the next one after that.
I don't even fucking
Well,
care
guys,
if they come
they're
out with
still
something
stupid.
else.
Oh my god, 100 episodes in.
I know, right?
But yeah, this is a good way to have something that we can do together again, because we haven't performed as a band in 5 years going on. We haven't done anything that solid together in like 5 years. That's a half a decade.
So we started asking this final thing as a way to pick everyone up, and you're just bringing us down. Just saying.
No, like
No, I think I like where it's
This-
going.
this
It's
brings
about
me
community.
up.
It's about love.
Yeah,
It's about passion.
It's about being useless for half a decade.
John, shut up, man. I think you're the one bringing us down here.
while we were being useless as a band for half a decade, we were building this up, and this is, I feel like, a
Story
natural
of a
progression for
girl
us.
Who cried a river and drowned the sorry.
But no, this is something that I will look forward to for Mondays to come. And it's good to have stuff like this, because it's a way to show people who, like, particularly who I am as a person and what my thoughts are, because I have a bad time relaying that to people like face to face, and it's a problem that I have to figure out. But this is a way for me to speak my mind, like, openly and truthfully, and like it's a useful legacy to leave behind. So it would be cool. It would be cool to keep this going and for something great to come out of it.
I agree. On that, I think we should wrap this up. Thank you,
Sounds good.
everybody, for listening in on episode 2, or the real episode 1, I think. No, I'm not going to relax. This is really episode... John, don't look at me like that. This is
Okay.
really episode 2. I'm just saying, since we're like soft rebooting pretty much immediately
Yeah.
here. Now that we have Daniel on here as a permanent member of the TopCup podcast, though he was, I guess, always a member of TopCup. Why you... Am I facing the wrong way here?
No,
Why you
just keep
waving at
having
me?
it over here.
Okay, well,
Thank you for telling me that I'm a permanent member of TopCup. Follow me at your buddy Danny on Twitter.
yes, follow him at your buddy Daniel
Yeah.
Danny.
on Twitter.
Fuck,
John,
you're pretty
where can they find you?
I thought we said we weren't doing this.
Well, he fucking did the thing, so I just fucking kept it
Fuck
going.
you, I'm a guest as far as the
Okay,
That's
yeah.
special.
Just,
Yeah.
I won't talk.
just clap again. This has been episode 2 of the Top Cut podcast. Thank you guys for listening. I feel like I had something in. That's why is that where I stop? Why is
I
that
don't
where-
know.
Thank you, Daniel, for being here. It's good to be here, Joe.
Okay. How I'll do
See.
it, and then you'll.
I'll
I'll look
see
at
you
you
here
okay.
later.
Oh, no, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Just what are you gonna say?
You'll know.
I don't know what I'm gonna say.
You'll know.
Okay.
It'll come to you.
Okay, and thank you guys again for coming and listening to the second episode of the Top Cup podcast. I've been John, joined with our new and permanent member, Daniel.
I didn't sign that contract.
I just choked.
And that's where we cut it.
Thank you all again.
Until next time.
Goodbye.
Peace
Have a
out.
good day.